Welcome back. Now, after a 6-year break, the Namibian Annual Music Awards, better known as the NAMAs, are officially making a comeback. The Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture has committed $10 million Namibian dollars towards reviving the awards, signalling renewed government support for the country's music and creative industries. To unpack what this return means for artists, for the creative economy and the future sustainability of the NAMAs, we're joined this evening by Dino Ballotii, Deputy Minister of MEIYSAC, as well as M'kariko Amagulu, who is the Directorate for Arts and Culture at the Ministry. Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, a really exciting conversation, and I'm happy to be unpacking it a little bit more. Because what we do know thus far is that, yes, the decision has been made to bring back the NAMAs, but let's get into the nitty-gritties of what that actually means. So, Deputy Minister, after 6 years, without the NAMAs, why was it important for government to step in now and commit this, $10 million towards reviving these awards?
So I think, firstly, this is a national platform that validates the talent and equally it celebrates the identity of all our musicians, all our producers, of the entire ecosystem in the music fraternity. And as a government, we're putting our best foot forward to show that the creative sector is indeed a strategic contributor to our economic growth, equally to employment and especially to young people. I think you mentioned 10 years. The data that I could find is possibly even 20 years when the NAMAs had started. And so we're really excited. The absence, it indeed has created a bit of a gap in some of the momentum of these artists and producers. And again, that 10 million that you're mentioning, we don't only want it to be seen as reviving an event, we also want it to be seen as restoring confidence in rebuilding this ecosystem, in reaffirming that the arts and culture in our country is an integral part of our development.
Yeah, 100%. Madam Amagulu, from an arts and, culture perspective, what does the return of the NAMAs mean for musicians and creatives who've been without this platform for several years?
I think the NAMAs always stood as a celebration and as a recognition of the work that goes into music, and it was a platform that all artists looked forward to. So it only makes sense that we bring that back, just like with any other industries where you award and recognize excellence. It's the same thing. So I think artists are looking forward to it. And I know, when it was first mentioned last year, I think we saw a lot of music coming out, especially towards the end of last year, and we're seeing more music coming out as well. So it inspires creativity, it inspires work and actually the creation of music, which really speaks to our identity as well. So it's not just necessarily about the industry, but it's also about creating a Namibian identity and celebrating that as well. So so I think it's an exciting time for the musicians, and I think for government to also take it on, and I think the DM has really put it very nicely when he first spoke. It's really something that we've seen being done in other places as well, where there is a kind of a government-led recognition around culture. And in this instance, we're looking at the music industry, celebrating that and encouraging and supporting those who may move into, follow those career paths. Yeah.
Well, I love that you've noticed that the artists have been, coming out of the woodworks, making music. It's wonderful to see, and it shows that there's interest and excitement around that. So that's incredible. I want to ask, Deputy Minister, of course we know that the ministry is now pledged this amount to making the NAMAs happen, and usually you would expect government to say, oh, we're doing this, stakeholders come on board, let's make this happen. But you've taken that bold step in saying, this is a good idea, this is what we're pledging towards it. What message is government sending to artists and the creative industry with this move?
So firstly, I think it's most important that we say we're sending a clear message that we are taking the creative industry or the creative economy most seriously. Also, I think we should not use the term, which you have not, but we should never see this as a 10 million expense. I think we should really position this as a 10 million investment. At the same time, I would not want at any given point that this is seen, or the creative industry is seen, as an afterthought. It really continuously needs to be seen as a serious economic driver. And of course, with this investment, and I know offline you asked us, is this enough? At the same time, we're saying we need to ensure the credibility, the professionalism, even the dignity of these artists and of these awards. And so again, in the absence of private sector running with the music awards, as a government, we thought it prudent and most needed to host a national music awards.
Yeah. Beyond the awards night itself, Madam Amagulu, how will the NAMAs contribute to the the long-term growth in the music and entertainment industry, especially for young and emerging artists as well?
I think the platform has become that platform that I'm working towards, right? That recognition, that celebration of the work that artists, musicians have been doing. So it becomes, it's like, I think it was mentioned already, it's that space where people's work is validated. It's recognized, it's celebrated, and that's what we're talking about. So it is a platform that's needed, and I think we see it. We have PR awards, we have, sports awards, you name it. So really, it's us basically putting that importance, as has already been said, in the creative industries, and taking and placing and creating these platforms to recognize the work that is being put in, particularly this industry, which is music, which is, I think, our biggest industry in terms of the creatives.
Sustainability has been a concern in the past, and I think validly so. How confident is the ministry that the partnerships with private sector will secure the NAMAs beyond 2026?
So there's a notion that government is not in the business of doing business. Government is in the business of creating a conducive environment for business to take place. And of course, when we think of the private sector, we're not trying to replace the private sector. At the same time, we felt that there's a definite need. And on the videos that are playing on screen, I was seeing some of the, whether it's the artists or some of the guys in the audience that look quite nice and are well dressed. And so that equally is another element of our creative industry. And so that ecosystem, it creates job opportunities. Dresses are made, hair's done, and so on and so on. And I think the confidence as a ministry is that as we can stabilize and successfully deliver the NAMAs in 2026, we believe that going forward there will be a co-ownership between government and private sector for the NAMAs. And so I think to anyone private sector that may be listening, or this message is passed on to them, is to say that we look forward to collaborating with partners. We have partners, but as a government, we decided that we will allocate this funding for this financial year. And going forward, we hope that there'll be a buy-in from the private sector.
Well, we do know at this point that MBC is one of the stakeholders in the preparations for the NAMAs and has been for many, many years. So it's lovely that that relationship will continue. But are there any other stakeholders that you're looking at perhaps, and how important are collaborations for an event of this magnitude on the Namibian front?
Okay, so we're looking at the National Theatre of Namibia, and I think here we're really talking about the performing arts expertise that they can bring to the table when it comes to the NAMA Awards. But we are also in consultation with NASCAM and also BIPA, more looking at the intellectual property aspects of it. So they're not per se, BIPA and NASCAM are not per se partners. However, they are stakeholders that are consulted in the implementation of this program.
Well, there's a lot of anticipation around the dates and details, etc., which I can understand. So what reassurance, Deputy Minister, can you give artists and the public who are eager to see, the NAMAs return in full force?
So I think if there's reassurance, it's firstly that funds have been availed. It's not we're looking for sponsors and we're trying to find funding. That's the first point. Second one, my colleague and I, we butt heads on a weekly basis, because I so badly want us to announce official dates. But we do understand that there are some logistical confirmations that we need. We want this to be a great event. We don't want to rush it. We want to ensure that it's as inclusive as possible. Of course, no one should be left behind. So I wish that today I could give final dates, but I can confirm, and we can confirm as a government and as a ministry, that the Namas are returning, the money is there, and we hope and look forward to coming back soon and confirming the dates to the public as a whole.
Well, the stakes are high, Madam Amagulu. We know that the Namas, when it did leave, left on a high note, and we hope it's going to return the same way.
I think the only thing is that, you know, we are going to try and concentrate or focus on the music, on the musician, and those creatives that exist within this industry, and really try and make it about them. And I think that is one of the things that we are going to really try and bring back. But obviously, yes. And I think that's why it's also taking time, right? In terms of just locking down those dates. And it really is because we want to make sure that we're coming back with that quality as well. Maybe even a better quality and more enjoyable event. Yeah, so we're really excited because it's a challenge for us as well. And I think we're good on challenges, right, DM? Yeah, so we are looking forward to it, and I think we are not going to disappoint. I doubt we're going to disappoint. Yeah, and I'm really excited about it as well.
Oh, well done to the ministry for taking this bullet and biting it. And you know, all the best with the planning, because it's going to be monstrous, but you've got this.
Yes, we have this.
Thank you so much, Deputy Minister. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Nina.
Thank you.
Well, there we have it, confirmed that the Namas indeed are coming back. We just have to wait a little bit longer to hear exactly what dates those will be. And a bit later on in the program, as you know, it's Friday, we have our hot topics. We pose the question to the public about the Namas returning. Are you excited? We'll share, of course, the outcomes of our polls a bit later on and discuss it further. Let's take a brief break. We'll be right back.